The way we maintain landscapes today, traditional landscapes, is not sustainable. Turf is our #1 crop in the United States, and we spend the most water and fertilizer doing that. We spend a lot of fuel and labor doing that. And so going forward, we're going to have to find better ways to maintain our earth using less resources, and converting a lot of our areas to native plants makes sense from an environmental standpoint as far as cleaning our water, having it percolate back into the ground to replicate systems that were here before we've disturbed them, increasing the pollinator habitat that's available that we've diminished already, just to make landscape practices more consistent with leaving the earth in a better condition than what we found it for the next generation. I'm Bill Bedrosian. I'm owner of Bedrock Earthscapes, and we enrich life through improving our environment, and we do that by maintaining native plant areas. Because we've realized the benefit of native plants in cleaning, filtering, and cooling water, that's the best benefit for the use of native plants. Native plants are somewhat unique in that they have very deep root systems. And because of those deep root systems, they create channels for water to go into the ground. Our turf grass areas are cool season plants. They don't have deep roots. They have very shallow roots that only grow to probably 4 to 6 inches deep. So if we use those along the edge of water and we have movement of water, it etches that away and can cut under it. Whereas if you have native plants with very deep roots along moving water, right, it'll hold the soil in place and so it won't move. Now, a homeowner association or a public entity doesn't have to rebuild their pond banks every 20 years or 15 years. It can be a permanent solution by installing, converting to native plants, and then once those deep roots get established, they hold the soil particles in place and they won't wash away as much. Then we have other clients who want to do it for economic reasons. They don't want to have to rebuild their pond bank in 25 years. If you think about on a per acre basis, if you have to have turf, you have to mow it in this area 22 times a year. That means 22 times the amount of labor, the use of equipment, the use of fuel, pollutants going into the air, fertilization, broadleaf herbicides, all that goes away when you convert to natives. And then the aesthetic reason, that it looks beautiful. As we toured properties here recently, one of the clients mentioned, oh, they're beautiful, they're white and blue in the spring, and they're yellow now in the summer, and then they turn purple, and then they turn pink. So there's a succession of color too. So you have the aesthetics of natives that are really, really attractive. We use a byline of sustainable solutions, right? And oftentimes, some of our Park District clients are solving their issues while improving sustainability. So they're saying, well, it's really difficult to mow these areas in the early spring because it's so wet. Our mowers can't get in there or they'll get stuck. Some of our clients are converting those areas to meadows. There's active recreation and there's passive recreation. People have traditionally thought, oh, we're going to go to the park for active recreation. We're going to play baseball, we're going to play soccer, we're going to do something. But there's a lot of people who want to go for a walk on the trail. There's a lot of people who enjoy watching the butterflies and the bees and seeing the pretty flowers and seeing what's going on with nature. That's another reason why a lot of the problem areas are now in Park District areas that aren't large enough. Maybe they're strips along parking lots or they're outer sections that's not being used, can be converted to natives to lower cost, help our environment, and to reduce a maintenance problem at the same time. Some of the challenges is that people still think that native areas look like weeds. They don't understand that they're natives just because they look different. And part of that is because we put the wrong plants in some of the seed mixes when we put them in. And so we have these very tall plants that look out of place in a very manicured landscape. And so that's one thing, how we design them, the varieties that we choose. And we have to keep in mind that plants only grow in habitats to which they're adapted, and so we have to choose the right plants. So there's been a lot of education about pollinator gardens and butterfly gardens, so people are starting to understand that. They're starting to understand the need to cleanse, cool, and filter water so that we have cleaner rivers and streams. And we've made great progress in the 40 or 50 years as I've seen them. There are birds now that we never used to see, hawks and things like that that are plentiful now that never were. So we're making progress, but we need to continue to do that because the pressure is going to be on us to continue to degrade more and more areas. Our work is amazingly rewarding. we get to maintain beautiful landscapes which benefit mankind and make the world a better place for the next generation.